Blended learning is an approach where technology and elements of online resources are used to deliver traditional classroom teaching. The teacher remains pivotal to the success of this process. Blended learning can be used either within the classroom or at home to reinforce or introduce new topics to your students. My name is Fatima and I am a computer science teacher at Tourney High School for Girls. I am one of the digital practitioners who will be developing sessions on blended learning. I know that many of you already use blended learning tools within the classroom, so this will not be something new. However, I am sure you'll find these resources beneficial and some of the topics I will be going through very useful, so thank you. In this first session, I will be looking at approaches to using some elements of blended learning within the classroom. It is always important to ensure the right tools are selected for your audience, topic, and activity. The tools we use help to ensure that learners are able to engage with the activity and make purposeful connections with the lesson objectives. This session, we will look at how we can blend teacher-led sessions with technology and create a learning environment that is harmonious. I will look at some tools we can use to start the lessons. Start off by using a very popular whiteboard online tool. We use whiteboards quite often in the classroom, and I found this whiteboard tool really handy. So I've set up my class in here. I'm going to click on resume class. This again is a free tool to use. So I've set up my class. My room code appears over here. You have a number of options. You can enable a waiting room. You can enable student image upload. So there's a number of things that can happen. So I've created my student in here. So this is my whiteboard, which I've shared with the class. I want them to convert this into a denary, which is a normal number that everyday people can recognize. So I can see what's happening with my student. So I go to any student over here, and we're just going to see how my student responds to this task. So as you can see, the student has copied the binary code that I placed on the whiteboard and is now just converting this to a denary number. And it's really great way to see how the class are managing this particular action. So we can save the whiteboard for later, and we can do all sorts of things. So I can see that this student has done quite well. So well done. I will know in the class who that student is. And if I choose to record any element, I can do that straight away. This sort of tool is fantastic. It doesn't take very long to set up. It can be used for all sorts of quick starter activities, for conundrums, for writing down keywords, and is a really good tool. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. Thank you.
Whiteboard.V is a great tool to use in the classroom. It can be used with a diverse range of learners in the school. I use this tool with all my mixed ability classes. Whiteboard.V reduces the need for complex language and cultural barriers within the classroom. Again, this tool gives teachers a chance to engage with their learners and for the learners to share their understanding with the teacher. Integrating a tool such as Whiteboard.V into your lesson is a simple yet effective way to integrate technology into the learner experience. Starting the lesson with a blended learning strategy is a great way to ensure engagement with your students from the moment they enter your classroom. Younger learners love a blend of learning approaches, and this application can be used to achieve that. Making changes on the whiteboard is a very simple task and nothing complex. I have used this tool in a maths lesson, thus allowing me to review students' answers, particularly those students who are in need of greater assistance.
This tool can be used to identify errors in understanding and gives me an opportunity to work out the solution with the student. This would be a great time to use the whiteboard and ask a student who has the correct method and answer to share their work out with the class, thus blending two technologies together. One of the most important elements of blended learning strategy is the relevance of the tool and how it links with your curriculum. If the students cannot see the point of the task and the link with their learning, then the activity loses relevance. So blended learning is not so much about the tool, but the relevance of the tool to the learning. The tool I use regularly at the start of my lessons is Mentimeter. Again, a free tool. This application has many different options, as you can see. So you have popular question types, allows you to choose the best option depending on the type of question you choose to pose. Really great tool, as you can use different methods and different question types every lesson. Using word clouds is what I've decided to do today, is a great tool to incorporate memory mastery and ensure students have retained the key information from a previous lesson and a way to test information about a new topic. You can see I've actually entered my question that I wish to pose for this lesson. I've included how many entries I want per student, and you can also include a profanity filter, which actually means that the students are not able to use any words that are not suitable. The application allows all of your items that you have created to be saved for use again and again and again, as well as saving the results, which you can share with the class. Different sharing options are included, so this can be shared as a code which you use in the class. It can be shared as a voting link depending on how you wish to approach this particular task. It can also be shared as a QR code which can be used later by the students, and you're still able to check the results. With this tool, you can actually check the number of participants who've actually entered the correct results. So this is a really good outcome. 21 students in the class out of 24 have selected the right option. This is a good way for me to assess that my learning has taken place in my classroom. This application is a great way to reinforce learning outcomes, which is an important element in a blended learning strategy. I can download the results, which I often do, and I share this with my class. Again, simple to use, no confusing instructions, which can result in disengagement when using blended learning in the classroom. My experience enjoyed the blended lessons, as many of our students are digital natives, so using technology is a natural way for them to share their knowledge. Mentimeter is a good tool for those teachers who are not very confident with using new technology, as it includes a range of options all in one package. This means that teachers can use the tool to provide a variety of learning styles. As you can see, lots of popular question types, different ways that content can be added to the slide, and all of this for free. Those who want to add more elements can actually pay for an upgrade, but that would be up to your school. Again, linking this to their audience, purpose, and curriculum is a very important part of your digital blended strategy. This application provides immediate feedback, which is a principal feature within a blended learning strategy. Students enjoy seeing their results rather than having to wait. This is great for the teacher as well, as this information can be used to create a discussion point or to use the time to challenge any anomalies in understanding. Once you've created a bank of useful questions, these can be modified for another class or simply used again. This software is regularly updated with amazing new features, which can easily be added to the blend of options available. Teachers can then become more exciting in the way in which they use this tool within their lessons, which makes this tool in terms of sustainability a good tool of choice. It can be frustrating to use a tool which is no longer being supported and developed, so when choosing a tool, this will be an important consideration. This can be found in the inspiration section, where teachers can then add the different types of elements they want included in their next learning task. Ideas are presented really well, and then teachers can just simply add these. So if you want to manage your audience's expectations, you can add this to my set of presentations. Next time you want to create a new presentation, it will already be there for you. I hope you find this useful so far. Thank you. So far, we have looked at how blended learning can be used at the start of lessons. The two tools I have demonstrated in this session have been used successfully by both myself and colleagues in my school. It gives every student a chance to engage in their learning. It gives teachers time to check and ensure responses demonstrate knowledge and understanding. Students can work together to develop their understanding. Working collaboratively is an important part of a student's ability to broaden their understanding of a topic. Blended learning provides students with this opportunity, as well as different levels of interactivity, making their learning much more varied and effective. Make sure that the tools you choose work well with your curriculum plans and blended learning strategy. The tool should be used as a way to increase engagement, and this will ensure that the application you have selected will work well with your chosen group. Give yourself time to use the tool effectively before trailing with the students. It is important that you are able to demonstrate confidence when using any technology. Students are in the main able users of a range of technology, and it is important that we as teachers are also seen as skilled and enthusiastic users of technology when using them in the classroom. Introduce the application and take it from there. If the students engage with the task and you are able to get the response you are hoping for from the tool, then you have made a good start. Used by students to complete a range of tasks. The tools I have demonstrated are generally tools where students are working from a terminal on their own. However, for my next task, this can be set up as a paired or group activity, thus requiring a different set of skills. Using QR codes for activities is a great way for students to interact with their learning. This task can be set up with great ease at class tools. The first task is to submit a series of questions and answers. As you can see, I've got my questions and answers already here for my starter activity. This is all to do with hardware and parts of a computer, as this is what we've been focusing on in the lesson. So I've just put some questions in. I want the students to be able to guess what the answers are, and then I will just put them into this software, which creates the QR codes ready for my activity. Now that the QR codes are all ready, I simply print these out. I paste them in various locations throughout my classroom, set up my groups, and the students are ready to go with their answer sheet. So students either work in pairs. I allow the students to use their mobile phones. If you don't allow students to use their mobile phones, then they will require a tablet. So we're very fortunate in my school because we have a class set of tablets, which I usually book, and then the students can use the task to scan the codes and get the questions onto the device, and then just work out the answer, which they just simply have to put onto the answer sheet. So this is a great way. This is a very interactive lesson. Students are walking around. I usually time the activity. that adds more to the challenge. So the fastest student or the pair or the group to achieve the outcomes will be then rewarded using our school reward system. So I think this is a really, really great way for students to interact with their learning and use technology at the same time.
Start with a challenge. This is a great activity that can be used for any subject area and topic. Carefully prepare some questions and the correct answer. Enter this or copy and paste into the text box. Now you are ready for the task. This task, however, does require a handheld device of some sort, so a mobile phone or tablet will be needed. The activity was used during a staff training session, and the teachers had so much fun. Likewise, students of all ages really enjoyed this task. So across my school, in all lessons and across a range of activities, students use QR codes. This is such a good blended learning activity as the use of a physical device incorporated in the lesson. I have used this as an engagement tool where students were tasked with preparing QR codes for the starter for my next lesson to gauge their learning and use of keywords. To make a video or make one yourself to really have a range of starting points for your lessons, Adobe Sparks is a really easy to use tool where you can make simple yet effective videos for your lessons. Simply select the type of screen that you want to use and just there you go. Add a bit of text, which I've done this for for a history lesson. If you want to add images, very easy. I've saved a range of images. I'm going to use my Armada image. So here's my Spanish Armada video. I'm just going to simply make it a little smaller so it fits on the page. And there you can see I've just made my first slide. This automatically converts to a video, and you can do all sorts of things on this. It's absolutely brilliant. Use as many slides as you want. It's a bit like having a PowerPoint slide, but it's got a bit more functionality. It's also got built-in images, so you can actually choose them straight away. You can actually make audios, so now I can speak, add questions, and remember, again, you can share this with your class. So it's a really fantastic tool, and our students actually enjoy a different starter for every lesson. Simple to add more slides, add a video of your choice, you can add icons, and like I said, it's really, really functional. Got lots of themes, choose the colors that you want, and everything changes. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you will be able to use some or all of the tools in your lessons. I hope that you've been able to see the potential that blended learning brings to the classroom. Experience. This video was about how we use tools and not really about the tools themselves. I simply added these to show how my colleagues and I use some of the tools in this video. There are many more tools that can be used to enhance your blended learning strategy. Only use tools you are confident using. It can be tempting to use features or tools you have not really tried out or are currently skilled at using. Give yourself time to use the tools before using additional features. Get the students to make use of the tools to make the lessons more engaging for them and to develop their skills.